What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Austin Show. Today we're looking at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Crime Syndicate Target exclusive wave. So this is a wave of 4 members of the Crime Syndicate, which is just kind of a rip-off or evil version of the Justice League. And then we get the Build-A-Figure of Starro. With this, you can see like Starro's eyes there and it's part of his legs and stuff. So this all looks pretty cool with that Build-A-Figure of Starro especially. So just looks cool, and each character comes with like one of the mini Starros that you can put on, for the mind control and everything. But that big Starros as well, that looks cool. But starting off the wave here, we've got Ultraman and Superwoman. So again, much like Superman and Wonder Woman, but different. Of course, we'll go through their stories. And then we also have Owlman and Power Ring, which of course like Batman and Green Lantern, and you can see those star pieces there as well. So all of these look really cool, and I'm excited. So of course we're still missing, I know at least like Johnny Quick or whatever his name is, like the Flash character, we're missing him. So hopefully they'll release him eventually. And then I don't know any other really members of the Crime Syndicate, but these 4 figures are pretty cool, and I'm so excited for that Starro. So let me get these open and out of the box, and we'll take a look at them together. So starting off with Ultraman, his real name is Kal-El, and he was Superman of Earth 3. But just like our normal Kal-El or Clark Kent, he was born on Krypton and sent to Earth in a life pod. But in that life pod, it inundated him with ideology and moralizing to be the strongest being alive. And he ends up landing in Smallville, Kansas, and is raised by Jonathan and Martha Kent until eventually he kills them at age 7. And from there, he ends up taking the name of Ultraman and began to take over Earth, first by killing the US president, and then forms up the Crime Syndicate. So overall, he looks pretty cool, just like Superman, just like all the other Clark Kents and stuff. So nothing really new or different about him. He's just now known as Ultraman. So instead, he has the U on his chest with that kind of like diamond design. So that still has the yellow, red, and blue outfit design. Looks, just like Superman as usual. But he, of course, has the Kryptonian physiology. So has ultra strength, speed, stamina. He's invulnerable, can fly, has breath powers, heat vision, X-ray vision. But in this universe, he has kryptonite absorption. So in this, kryptonite fuels his ability instead of the sun. So a little bit reversing of Superman there. But overall, it looks pretty cool. Nice design. Like I said, it's pretty much just Superman, just a redesign of him with the U on his chest and nice silver design there on the waist of like his underwear piece and stuff. And then overall, like I said, it's just Superman. So nothing too crazy to look at here. I like how his eyes are all red and stuff. So that's cool. Nice hair design with the hair flowing in the wind. So overall, he just looks pretty nice and cool for an Ultraman. Like I said, it's not much different than Superman, but looks pretty cool still. So we can do his movement, so his head can twist all the way around. He'll look down that far and up that far, so decent movement. Still can't look up, so for flying, he won't be able to do much. The shoulders can come up to 90 and rotate around. Of course, have that butterfly joint in there as well. We have the bicep twist, a little bit stiff, but bicep twist. Double elbow joint that bends all the way up on itself, and the wrist can twist around and flex on that ball joint. You can see that design there. We've got that upper ab crunch in there, so crunch back and forth and twist a little side to side, but then we have the crunch at the waist, so he can crunch back and forth and twist around there as well. The hips can come up a little bit under there because the underwear piece, and then out to the side. No thigh twist, but a double knee joint that bends up that far to the back, and the foot flexes back and forth. So he's got sort of the blend-in joints here on his ankles, so you don't really see him as much, but can flex back and forth, twist side to side, and then the toe joint on the end. So he's pretty much like your standard Superman, obviously just now as Ultraman. And unfortunately, I am having some issues getting him to stand. I don't know if something's wrong with his ankles or just positioning, or of course the cape pulling him down in the back probably isn't helping too much. So there he's standing, but if I have too many issues, I do have the base, I'll pop him on. So that is a little bit different. With most Superman, we get the flight base, but for him, we just have that standard base. And the only accessory comes with, which is going to be the same for all these figures, so they all come with the black base, as well as this accessory of the Starro piece that you can put on their chest. So you just have to figure out how you want it and stuff and wrap this around on his chest. So let me go and put him on. So there's like the Starro on his chest thing, and I don't know if I did that right, because the Starro, I don't know if it needs to be going in any certain direction, but I did get it on him, so I guess that's really all that matters, is having the Starro in there. I know most of the time when Starro attached to people, they attach to their face, but maybe they thought those would be too small, so they did this chest piece, or maybe in this universe, the Starro attaches on the chest or whatever. Still pretty cool that we have the Starros to attach to, and of course with these, we can put them on just about any figure we have, so not just this wave, so we can put them on anything. Pretty cool though to have the Starro, nice awesome design with the starfish. Of course, we'll see that Build-A-Figure at the end, but nice awesome eye designs and stuff in there, and nice fleshy designs, real rubbery and stuff, so it bends easily around. So overall, pretty cool to have the Starro that goes on these. Again, we'll have them for every single figure, and pretty nice for Ultraman himself. It's just another version of Superman. And next up we have Superwoman, whose real name is Donna Troy, and of course she's an Amazonian from Earth 3 and a member of the Crime Syndicate. Now there's not a whole lot of backstory to her, at least that I could find, and she's pretty much just an evil version of Wonder Woman is her whole backstory. But overall I think she looks cool with the all black, so she's got the dark black hair. Of course it's the shorter design, so it's not too long, but it has some nice like swoops and stuff to it. Almost got a bluish sort of purple color into it, which is pretty cool. And overall nice face, you know, does look like an evil villain, especially the real dark lipstick and eye design and stuff. But then the all black outfit, so she has the S up there on her chest for Superwoman, and of course the more like bikini design with some silver along the outlines, some silver bracelets, which I believe on Superwoman here are bracelets of submission, so that's pretty cool. She has special bracelets. The underwear piece, of course, part of the outfit that has the tails hanging down off the back, so we have like this tail design hanging down, and then she's got this shoe design, so it's just normal shoes but has all the ties going up, much like the old gladiator style shoes that look pretty cool there as well. So overall really unique design. I do have some issues standing her because of the feet, but it's not horrible. Overall I do really like her design and looks pretty awesome. And much as you'd probably think for a Wonder Woman counterpart and being a super person, she has the power of flight, of course, has superhuman strength, durability, speed, and reflexes. And then as I mentioned, she has her bracelets of submission as well as the lasso of submission, which is a barbed lasso that compels the person tied up to obey and love the person wielding. So for her, it would be cool if we would have got that lasso, but they didn't include it with this, unfortunately. But we'll do her movements so her head can twist all the way around and look back and forth. Yeah, barely no movements at all for her. Shoulders up to 90, maybe a little bit above there, rotate around, and of course have that butterfly joint. We get a bicep twist, which is cool, which doesn't really twist, it's just sort of there. You know, it's kind of weird that it's cut out in there, but you can't twist it at all, so it's pretty pointless. We get the double elbow joint though that bends all the way up, and then the wrist can twist around and again flex on that ball joint. We have the ab crunch and twist just at the waist on this figure, so it can crunch back and forth and twist around, and so that's all we get. Don't have any upper crunch or anything. The hips can come up pretty close to 90 and out to the side that far. No real thigh twist, but a double knee joint that bends up that far to the back. Ooh, she can kick her own butt. And then we get the foot that flexes back and forth. Again, this has more of the blended joints, not as much blended. It looks pretty simple on this figure, but can flex back and forth, twist side to side, and has the toe joint on the end. And as I said, she's not the easiest to get to stand up, but we have, of course, the base plate we'll put on her. And as I mentioned, she does also come with the Starro piece, so we have the Starro that we can wrap on her. So there is Starro on her. Again, I just tried something different, but there is Starro there on the Superwoman. And I forgot with the Superman, but we do have their cards, of course. So there's the picture of her. It says Donna Troy. So I guess more for her story. It says on Earth 3, Donna Troy hails from Demon's Island, her Earth's Themyscira, where the women are ruled by the cruel Queen Hippolyta. When Steve Trevor arrives on the island in 1945, he and Donna quickly fall in love, but Steve has an ulterior motive. He's there to recruit the soldiers of the war, and when he doesn't get the warriors he wants, Steve takes Donna hostage instead. Donna then makes the difficult decision to destroy the one she loves, a dark lesson her mother Hippolyta wanted her to learn. Subsequently, Donna leaves the island and forms the army of supervillains known as the Crime Syndicate, vowing to one day return and depose her mother as ruler. So there's a little bit more backstory. So not much to it, it's just got the whole backstory part of the Demon's Island, but still pretty cool. You know, turns out pretty much just like Wonder Woman, but it's Superwoman this time. And overall, I think she looks pretty cool. I love the outfit design and stuff overall for her. And next up we have Owlman, the Batman counterpart. His real name is Thomas Wayne Jr., and he believed his parents were managing their wealth poorly, so he decided to murder them. And he also tried to convince his younger brother Bruce to help, but when it came to the murders he was hesitant, so Thomas ended up killing Bruce since he showed weakness. And from there, Thomas ended up adopting the persona as Owlman and began taking over Gotham through blackmail, threats, and payoffs. Eventually he kills the parents of Richard Grayson and used the boy's trauma to offer emotional support to fill his missing space from his brother Bruce. And Richard ends up becoming the sidekick Talon, where Talon ended up being killed by the Joker, and Owlman went on to join the Crime Syndicate. And of course, just like Batman, he has genius intellect, has martial arts skills, and is known for intimidation. And just like Batman, he's got the owl suit, so much like the bat suit, but he's got an owl suit that allows him to fly. He also has an owlmobile owl ring, so instead of all the bat stuff we have with Batman, he has owl versions. And overall, he looks cool. And of course, we've seen Owlman, like in Watchmen, there's an Owlman, and I believe they're pretty similar. I believe they took and modified him. Of course, I could be wrong, but I think he looks cool, you know, much like Batman. You know, it's a very much Batman design, just with owls. So he's got the black cowl, which is pretty cool, with the like feather horns sticking up, which is pretty cool, is that design, and the owl eyes there with the yellow that look pretty cool and look like they move around and stuff. And of course, he has the cape as well, so the cape in the back, which is like feather layered, so it looks pretty cool there and stuff, but still just looks like your normal bat cape. And even as some of the designs up top, again, it's supposed to be that feather design. Owl logo there on his chest, so it's got the little beak and the eyes for the owl. Silver on the top, black underneath. That looks pretty cool. So probably like a black Kevlar. It's nice gray design with, again, the feather details and the gloves there. I like those gloves. Belt on the waist with the owl logo. Black continuing down the legs with some nice texture there, and some gray on top. So we got some gray knee pads and the all gray boots there. So overall looks pretty cool, but as I said, it's pretty much just another version of Batman. So we can do his movement. So his head can twist all the way around. Can look down that far and up that far. So not bad movements, but still not very good. Shoulders up to 90 with that butterfly joint and can rotate around. We get a bicep twist on him, the double elbow joint that bends all the way up, and the wrist can twist around and flex on the ball joint. Then we get the ab crunch. So we have the upper ab crunch on him. So crunch back and forth, barely any crunching, but it does move there and twist very little side to side. And then we have the lower crunch at the waist. So again, very little moving and can twist there as well. Hips can come up close to 90, out to the side. He can do the splits, barely any thigh twist, double knee joint that can bend up that far. And then we get the foot that flexes back and forth. So he definitely has the blend in joint. So you can see it much more detailed and designed in there, but can flex back and forth, twist side to side, and has the toe joint on the end. So he doesn't have the best movements ever, but I still love the look of this. Like, it's just a cool design. It's like an alternate version of Batman. So it just looks really cool, and I like that a lot. And of course, he comes with the base, but he's standing pretty easily, and also comes with the Starro, so we don't really need to put him on there. But we do have the card, so there's, of course, the picture of Owlman, and on the back, Thomas Wayne, which most of the stuff is pretty much what I've already talked about, but you can read through that if you want to know a little bit more about Earth 3 Gotham City there. But still, a pretty cool figure. Like I said, this probably look-wise one of my favorite figures from this wave. I just wish his joints were better because had some issues with him. And our final figure of the wave is Power Ring, real name John Stewart if you couldn't tell, but he was a policeman of Coast City, and while beating up a mobster in an alley, the green Power Ring came to him and chose him to be the Emerald Knight, and now with the green Power Ring, he burned that man alive. But he would go on to become a vigilante that would kill everyone he deemed corrupt, and then when the Starro Collective invaded his planet, he teamed up with Owlman, Superwoman, and Ultraman as the crime syndicate to defeat Starro's queen. So that explains why we have all the Starros in the Build-A-Figure in this wave. But he of course has the green power battery that allows for energy construct, energy projection, and flight. So all the pretty standard Green Lantern stuff, but overall looks cool. So it is the John Stewart, so of course is the black guy, and he's all bald headed in this version, which I think looks pretty cool. The outfit looks really awesome, definitely one of the coolest Green Lantern armor. So he has the all black outfit with the green highlights. So of course the shoulder armor piece with the collar, that looks awesome, and the logo on there. I don't know what it's supposed to be, but it does look cool. And then all the green running throughout the body with the black, like I said, just looks awesome. Like I said, this is definitely one of the coolest versions of Green Lantern we've had. I just wish it was more of a real Green Lantern. But we'll do his movements. So his head can twist all the way around, can look down that far and up that far. So not bad movements there. Shoulders up 90 with the butterfly and rotate around. Get the bicep twist, the double elbow. It feels a little bit stiff, but can bend pretty much all the way up on itself. The wrist twist around and flex on the ball joint. Upper ab crunch, so crunch back and forth. Again, very little crunching, just a little shaking there and barely any twisting. But then we can crunch out the waist back and forth and twist around. Hips can come up to 90, out to the side. Ooh, he can easily do the splits. No thigh twist, but a double knee joint that can bend up that far to the back. Ooh, he's close to kicking his butt. And then the foot flexes back and forth, twists side to side, and has the toe joint on the end. And if you can tell, he does have the Green Lantern ring there on his left hand. So overall, he's pretty cool. Have some issues with stiffness of the joints, but overall, like I said, it's definitely the coolest version of Green Lantern, and definitely my second favorite figure from this wave. He just looks really awesome in this form. And of course, as usual, he comes with the base and the Starro, but don't really need to do that. And then we have his card there and the picture on the back, of course, John Stewart, and part of his storyline there. But again, I kind of told you some of it already, but if you want to read all through that, you can. But overall, pretty cool figure. Like I said, the design of this is what makes me like it more than anything. And that brings us to the Build-A-Figure Starro, which looks pretty cool. It's just a big starfish, and it is pretty big. It's not, as big as I would sort of think or want it to be, but it is still pretty big. It looks pretty awesome. We get the eye in the center, which is actually sort of see-through. It'd be cool if we could put something in there to light it up or something, but it has got sort of see-through design along with the two eyes on the side. And of course, unfortunately, with the Build-A-Figure design, it doesn't fit together pretty well, so you can easily see the seams around it. But it looks pretty cool. It's all the purple design with the white wash or whatever, or very light purple on over the top to fill in some of the details. The arms seem like they need to have it a little bit more. But if we spin it around, we can see the mouth on the bottom, which looks cool, and of course the suckers and stuff. So all the little suction cups that starfishes have that'll stick to things. So that it's pretty cool. And then the limbs have some bendy wire or something in them, so they can sort of bend back and forth. Don't really do too much, but just have some movement that you can do inside there. So unfortunately, it doesn't really have any movements besides that. And of course, with this, it doesn't stand up or anything, so we'll just have to probably lean it up against the thing to get it to stand. But it still looks pretty cool. It's a nice design and stuff. It looks pretty awesome for a Starro. Nice big Starro to stick on a shelf. But of course, if you don't know, Starro is the leader of the Star Conquerors alien race and is a mind-controlling intergalactic starfish. And from like the first time Starro was introduced, he was traveling through space and found Earth, which was filled with life. So he began an invasion to gain the powers and knowledge from Earth, but was defeated by the Justice League. And of course, with this storyline, he's defeated by the Crime Syndicate, as I told you earlier. But he has superhuman strength, can reproduce asexually by releasing mini Starros that latch onto people. So all those little Starros we got with this set. Powers of regeneration, flight, telepathy, and is invulnerable. And of course, if you saw the newer Suicide Squad movie, Starro was in that. Just obviously looked much different, but still pretty cool to have Starro from the set and the Build-A-Figure piece. Never thought we'd probably ever get a Starro like this, but pretty cool to have one. Well, there we have our McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Crime Syndicate Target exclusive wave, where we got the 4 members of the Crime Syndicate of Ultraman, Owlman, Superwoman, and Power Ring. Of course, with that Build-A-Figure of Starro there in the background. That is really cool. So pretty decent wave. Not the best figures overall. And of course, I would have preferred more normal version. I don't really like the spin-offs like these, the alternate Earth versions. But getting them with the different looks, instead of just normal Superman, Batman, Green Lantern stuff that we've had before, getting different versions at least is pretty cool. And that Build-A-Figure of Starro is pretty awesome. I just wish we would have came with something to actually help him stand up. Pretty cool wave overall, I must say. And overall, I can't complain too much about it. But let me know what you thought of the wave down in the comments. If you enjoyed my review, let me know with a thumbs up. I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.